right, so let's start here. Again, we could record the lecture last class. So let's imagine that this is not going to work. So, we'll take it easy. I won't go too fast, if I go too fast, you guys can stop me as we repeat it again. I don't mind doing things 10 times until you guys get it, So let's start by just, I want to see what you guys did last class. So ideally, every class you will submit 5 renderings, right? Showcasing those 5 views you have. And it's okay if they're not perfect in the views. Ideally, you get better with every class. So let me see if I can open our folder and start seeing those things with 3592, Friday. It's already acting slow. Right. Alright, so let me start with the first person, which is Dernika here. And I want you guys to give actually the first comments, So first of all, what did we learn last class before we start commenting? Anybody? It's only been a week.
Are we in the workshop?
Yes. We added those lines, right? To make it more realistic, right? But we didn't really apply them any material. Like we applied only one, right? Mostly, right? Which is this here, right? And I think also glass, right? And that was it, right? So it's okay, Right now they're still lacking plenty of detail. But what I want to see here is you have like some of a blue sky, right? That means you have the V-Ray environmental map for the sky. I want to see some idea of shadows. That means that you have a V-Ray light source, right? And I want to see a nice camera location, right? Not that been twisted or at an angle. Something that is somehow proportioned correctly, right? Okay. And these views are based on photographs, right? Did you guys saved last time, right? Okay. So these are all shots. That you took from that side. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I thought you guys did that. Even though today I'll teach you guys water. Water is pretty much what? Glass. If there's no wind,
it's
right?
It's a perfectly smooth surface, right?
If you ever go to a lake and it's not windy, it looks like glass,
so
right?
pretty much glass
is just water with a little bit of modifications, right?
So what do you think of her renderings? What does that say? So are you saying that?
Are you saying they're not good?
That sounds like that's.
Okay, because it's a nice. Insult. Okay.
All right. I mean, I think they look great.
And
yes.
We didn't do that, but I can see here,
that she has bumps, right?
That she has bumps, right?
She's got a reflection, so
the material does look realistic.
And I know that it's perceived
a lot worse in this screen, but I can see it in my screen that looks actually quite well. And if you want, you can go in the same folder and see them at the same time to get a better perception.
The cameras look great.
As we add here more detail, it's going to look much better, right?
We'll add eventually clouds and trees and other things.
And we get a better scene.
We put more detail in the water,
so we can see through the water
into those stones that are actually underneath.
This I can see that she tried to put. The color. Right now it looks great. And this color, I wouldn't be too picky because we're missing too much of the scene, right? We're missing trees, environments, other materials, and that color will change as we add more.
So everything else really looks
really nice.
She did add also
metal, right?
That came out also really good.
Here the glass looks less transparent.
Because we're missing light, right?
If you guys are at home, right?
And the lights are off,
it looks very,
any glass will look more, dark.
Any glass will look more, dark, right? As we put lights, things become a lot more transparent.
Right now, everything I think is perfect. So
So great job.
All right, let's go to
next person. Let's see here. So what's next?
Let's go down to area.
Okay, let's go down to area.
All right, Johan.
Not yet. All right, Johan.
Okay, I want to get Lenny's comment. I'm just joking. Don't worry. Yeah.
I'm just joking. Don't worry. Yeah. I'm not gonna hold that against you. Don't worry.
It's okay. I mean, you have the light is different.
It's okay. I mean, the light is different in the photograph, which is fine. Later we'll adjust that.
Green than the other one.
Your glass is more green than the other one.
Just a little bit
again. It's just a little bit of.
That's very hard to match, but
That's very hard to match, but you have the tint which is
I know the
correct.
shot, so and you can see that
I know the
it
shot,
has a nice balance of sky.
and you can see that it has a nice balance of sky, water, and building rights.
Rule.
So you have that 1/3
Same
rule.
here.
Same here.
You did apply something here, right? Like a different material. You did apply something here, right? Like a different material.
I was trying to plank up the turquoise. I saw the
Travertine marble.
marble.
Yeah.
Travertine marble.
Travertine marble.
Yeah.
I saw it was
Okay.
like a different shade from the one on the phone.
Okay.
That's fine.
And it changed it a little bit.
Okay.
That's fine.
Differentiate.
That's a cool
Okay.
shot, yeah.
That's a cool shot.
This is
Yeah.
a show from the that images.
This is a show from the images.
Yeah.
okay,
okay.
perfect.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
very nice.
Right,
Again, I
very
won't
nice.
spend too much time because so we can go to.
Again,
the
I won't
lecture.
spend too much time because
John.
so we can go to the lecture. John. Okay.
All right, so you tried to put the stone, which is good.
All right. So you tried to put the stone, which is good.
Okay. I mean, with this stone, it looks good. I would go a little.
I mean, with this stone, it looks good. I would go a
Because
little,
this scale, you can see too much
bigger.
of the-
Because
it
at this
is
scale,
seamless,
you can see
but,
too much of the.
If you
It
go
is
bigger,
seamless,
the
but
towel is less.
if you go bigger, the
and
towel
once you play more with
is
the water,
less.
eventually it'll dilute.
And once you play more with the water, eventually
towel
it'll
effect.
dilute,
Otherwise,
or
looks great.
that towel effect. But otherwise,
This is, I
looks
don't know,
great.
this is a mistake with the map.
This
You
is
see an
I don't know,
extra
this is a
line here.
mistake with the
An
map.
extra
You can
line
see an
here.
extra line here, an extra line here.
You see how this is a rectangular piece.
You see how this is
Rectangle then
a
goes to square
rectangular
piece.
piece. Rectangle then goes to square piece.
Yeah, yeah. Same here, right? You have a one
Yeah,
line
yeah.
here, no line.
Same here, right? You have
So
a
just checking
one
the map,
line here, no
yeah.
line.
Like
So
Scott
just
mentioned,
checking the
yeah,
map,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Like
Scott
Scott
mentioned,
mentioned,
yeah,
yeah. You probably this is a
So you
great
put
shot.
away the black carpet, right?
So
Okay.
you put away
This
the black
wall.
carpet, right?
Perfect.
Okay. You put this wall. Perfect.
Wow, very nice.
Wow, very nice.
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yes.
I wish you.
I
wish you guys could see better, but yeah.
Yeah, I wish you guys
Could see better, but yeah. Ah, you even put like something in the back here.
Ah, you even put like something in the back here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll do that eventually. Yes, that's the.
Yes.
But,
We'll do that eventually.
yeah.
Yes, that's the.
Here we
But,
have to fix this
definitely,
map because you see this part here.
Here we have to fix this map because
we can
you see
fix
this
it,
part here.
today. How to
And
stretch it
we can
correctly.
fix that, today. How to stretch it correctly.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Any comments? Any comments?
No.
No.
There's some yet. They're actually not in the ceiling yet.
There's
They're
some
more
yet.
like,
They're actually not in the ceiling yet. They're more
They're
like,
lamps, yeah. There's no recessed lights here.
they're more like lamps, yeah.
So it's more
there's
like,
no recessed lights here.
they changed.
so it's more
throughout
like
the season, for exhibitions.
they
so
changed throughout the
it's
season.
always a light
for
that would change,
exhibitions.
but there's
So
an LED light.
it's always
or
a
lamp
light that
fixture,
would change,
but
but
nothing
there's
is
an
actually
LED
built into
light
the
or
actual
lamp
pavilion.
fixture, but nothing is actually built into the actual pavilion.
All right, perfect. Very nice. All right, perfect. Very nice. Okay, Lenny.
Okay, Lenny.
Okay. It's nice.
Okay. It's nice. Okay.
Oh, I like this shot a lot.
Oh, I like this shot a lot.
It has a very strong what? It kind of draws your eye.
It has a very strong what?
forward, right?
It kind of
It has
draws
like
your
a-
eye.
Even though it's
Forward,
static,
right?
it feels like you're moving.
It has
forward,
like
so it's a very
even though it's
dramatic
static,
shot,
it feels
a
like you're
one-point
moving
perspective.
forward. So
So
it's a very dramatic shot,
Very
like
nice.
a 1-point perspective. So very nice.
that's fine. I mean, it's correct. As we
That's
have more
fine.
detail,
It's
we'll make it
correct.
better, but for now, it's fine. Yeah.
As we add more detail, we'll make it better. But for now, it's fine. Yeah.
You have the same problem, I think, as John. You see how you're missing a line here?
You have the same problem, I think, as
So just
John.
go back
You see
and
how you're
check
missing
your
a
map,
line here?
It means you probably
So
missed
just
one of the
go back and
lines
check your
on
map,
the side, right?
It
the
means you
map.
probably missed one of the lines on the side, right, of the map.
This looks very nice. Seeing here the reflection of the steel pieces.
This looks
here.
very nice. Seeing here the reflection of the
You can actually
the
see that,
steel
right? It's just-
pieces here.
I can't tell anything in the.
You can actually see that, right? It's just I
And
can't
here
tell
change
anything
the
in
material?
the screen.
And here change the material. No, but you see that here you have the texture, right? Here you have no texture.
No, but you see that here you have the texture, right? Here you have
That's
no
fine.
texture.
Overall, looks very nice.
Okay, that's fine. Overall, looks very nice.
All right, Manache.
All right, Manache.
So you're gonna put more Manache. Okay.
So you're gonna put more Manache.
So we
Okay.
gotta fix a bit of the mapping over here,
Okay.
right? It's too what?
So we gotta fix a bit of the mapping over here, right?
Yes. So
it's
too
too
what?
what?
Unstretch it. And
Yes.
it's very noisy.
So that's a little bit unstretch it. And
I'm not sure why.
it's very
yeah, 'cause,
noisy.
everyone's been using just.
I'm not sure why, yeah, because
progressive renderings.
everyone's been using
bucket?
just progressive
Use
renderings.
Or is a bucket
No
gonna give
bucket?
you a much? Bucket's gonna take away all the noise.
Use
right?
bucket? Or is a bucket's going to
so
give
for
you
now
much,
it's okay if you don't
bucket's
use,
going to
you
take
know,
away all the
bucket.
noise, right?
Okay, so
So
definitely,
for now it's okay if you don't use,
Okay,
bucket.
we'll put more renderings afterwards, right?
Okay, so definitely, okay, we'll put more renderings afterwards, right, Manash? Okay.
All right. Ryan.
Ryan?
And you can do more, right? That's okay. I mean,
And
at
you
the
can
sun
do
you
more,
can
right?
fix easily, right? Right now you're looking at the materials.
That's okay. I mean, at the
That
sun
looks
you can
good.
fix easily, right? Right now you're looking at the materials. That looks good.
Yeah, very nice. Just find 3 more shots, right, and add it to here.
Yeah, very nice. Just find 3 more shots, right, and add it to
All right, very nice.
here.
And you see how the glass color is different in every
All right,
person.
very nice.
That's fine for now.
And you see how the
Later you guys will
glass
go back
color
and-
is different in every person? That's fine for now. Later you guys will go back and what happened?
and adjust the tint correctly. All right, Shun.
Okay. And adjust the tint correctly. All right, Shun. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, in a way, I think his metal is more precise because you see how the metal here.
Yeah, in a
doesn't
way,
give
I
like
think
an
his metal
exact,
is more precise because you see
reflection
how
of
the metal
environment,
here
right?
doesn't
So
give
it
like
means
an
that,
exact
when he made the material,
reflection of the environment, right?
he added some.
So it means that
glossiness to it.
when he
It
made the,
reduced from 1 to
the
like maybe
material,
0.9 or 0.95,
he added
right?
some glossiness
Otherwise,
to
it
it, right?
becomes
It reduced
too,
from 1 to like maybe
mirror finish.
0.9 or
What
0.95,
you see
right?
here shouldn't be
Otherwise,
exactly
it becomes
what's there,
too
right? More
like
like
mirror finish.
obscured.
And what you see here shouldn't be
One
exactly
thing I
what's
would
there,
definitely
right?
fix is
More
your
like
lines, right?
obscured.
They're too dark, right? Yes.
One thing I
Maybe
would
a little
definitely
bit
fix
thinner,
is
right?
your lines,
That's
right?
all, yes.
They're too dark, right?
Same here. They
Yes.
just pop.
Maybe a little bit
The
thinner,
shot is
right?
correct.
That's all, yes.
You're missing
Same
some
here. They
lines
just
here,
pop.
so just,
I mean, the shot is correct.
okay, so the one you're missing here is
You're missing
you
some
put the
lines here,
in the
so
middle,
just
but you forgot the lines. On
okay. So the one you're
top
missing here
and
is
right
you
side.
put the lines in the middle,
That adds the
but you forgot the
repetition
lines
of
on
the
the
map.
top and right side.
Okay,
That adds the
that's fine. We're just
repetition
gonna
of
fix
the map.
the scaling
Okay.
and the colors from the glass.
That's fine. We just gotta fix the scaling
Okay, nice.
and the colors from the glass, right? Okay.
All right, very
Nice.
good. Let's get going to Wilson.
All right. Very good.
Let's get going to Wilson. Okay, nice.
Okay.
It's a cool shot.
Nice.
In what way?
It's a cool shot.
It's fine, yeah, because right now, again,
In what
this
way?
material is very light.
Well, it's
And right now
fine,
the
yeah,
scene
because
is
right
pretty much
now,
empty.
again,
So it's gonna look more
this
bright,
material is
so
very light.
I wouldn't worry until
And right
later
now
when
the
we
scene
add
is pretty
more,
much empty,
details.
so it's gonna look more bright. So
Okay.
I wouldn't
It's a
worry
good shot,
until
too.
later when we add more, details.
And again, that's
That's a
fine,
good
you know,
shot, too.
it being this
Okay.
bright, so don't worry.
And again, that's fine,
Here,
it
you
being
made the sun
this bright,
brighter, right,
so
or
don't
not?
worry.
Because the sky gets brighter when you change the
Here
sun
you made the
intensity
sun brighter, right?
from 1 to like.
Because the
anything
sky
higher.
gets brighter when you change
So
the sun
just check that your
intensity
sun is not
from
more
1
than
to like anything higher.
Okay, perfect.
So just check that your sun is not more than 1. Okay, perfect.
So let me go back to aerial. All right.
So let me go back to aerial.
All right, so we gotta add some materials, right?
Okay.
So okay, so you worked in the shots.
All right,
which
so
is
we gotta
good.
add some materials, right? Okay.
Okay, so you have your shots done.
So okay, so you worked in the shots, which is good.
This is a cool shot, yeah. More like an elevation.
Okay, so
view.
you have your shots done.
Okay.
This is a cool shot, yeah.
All right, so
More
you
like an
have your shots
elevation
set.
view.
The next thing is starting to apply, the
Okay.
materials.
All right, so you have your
And
shots set.
anybody
The
that
next
didn't
thing
have
is
the
starting
work,
to
just
apply
please
the
submit it,
materials.
right? As soon as you can, right? So we're missing.
And anybody that didn't have the work, just please submit it,
right, in the background.
as
guys
soon
know
as
who
you
you
can,
are?
right? So we're
Yeah.
missing definitely
I'll give you a chance to
some
make
people,
up,
right,
but
in the
all these
background.
things that definitely
You guys
count,
know who you are. I mean,
towards the end of the class.
I'll give you a chance to make up, but
Scott,
all
did I
these
look at
things that
yours?
definitely count towards the end of the class. So, Scott, did I
That's
look
good,
at
yeah.
yours?
Even if you tried, yeah.
No, here.
Charlie, I forgot about you. Yes.
But that's good, yeah. Even if you tried, yeah. Charlie, I forgot about you. Yes. So,
That's fine.
yes,
The
please.
noise is because this material has a very high bump.
That's
So
fine.
that can be
The
fixed
noise is
by
because
rendering as a
this
bucket,
material has a very high bump,
but it will take you more time. So
so
I
that
will
can be
probably
fixed by
reduce the bump on
rendering
this
as a
material.
bucket, but it will take you
otherwise-
more time. So I will maybe
Yeah, you
reduce
put
the
also
bump
the
on this
stone,
material.
okay.
But otherwise, okay, nice, yeah. You put also the stone, okay, okay, good,
You
okay,
have this shot. Okay, excellent. You have the water. You have the black tile.
okay, good.
All right, cool.
And we have this shot. Okay, excellent.
All right,
You have
let's
the
see.
water,
Anybody
you
else
have the
that I
black
missed
tile.
That's uploaded.
All right,
since
cool.
then. Ario Charlie. Charlie.
All right, let's see. Anybody else that I missed that's uploaded ever since then? Ario Charlie. Charlie?
This one, yeah, I don't know that, but it looks like a nice shot. You definitely, the sun. This one, yeah, I don't know that, but it looks like a nice shot. You definitely, the sun, you increase the intensity, right? Okay. And what happened here with the? Okay. Okay. Too much. And what happened here with the? Makes the bump very. And too much of a thick line, right? It makes the bump. I mean, very, also this water. Did you add a bump to it? Okay. Who was helping you? I mean, also this water. Moses? Did you add a bump to it? Cynthia. Okay, so that's why you know how to use water. Who was helping you? All right, so yeah. Moses. Cynthia. Okay, so that's why you know how to use water. All right, so she forgot. Yeah. Okay. She's taken every class I've ever given here. She forgot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She's taken every class I've ever given here. I mean, at this point, you know, these are simple mistakes, so it's not really a big deal, you know. You guys are still learning a lot of things. I mean, so at this point, you know, these are simple mistakes, so it's not really a big deal. You know. For now, if you can't do the material, you guys are still learning a lot of things, so it's not a big deal. That's fine. That's just for now, if you can't do the material, get the camera angle. Dark. Yes. Well, your glass looks. Your glass that's interesting because why is it so like dark? It's translucent. Well, your glass looks. Your glass is not transparent. Yeah, looks like it's translucent. Okay, that's why. That way we can fix it. Yeah, it's like yeah, that's okay. You know. What's up today in class? That's why. That we can fix easily, so not a big deal. All right, so that's it. It's okay. No, what's up today in class? Anyone I missed here? No, all right. Okay. All right, so that's it for the. Anyone I missed here? No, all right, so let's go here and the next thing. Everyone's here, right? Anyone come to class? All right, so let's go here and go back. The next thing. Everyone's here, right? Anyone come to class and took attendance? Daniel. Back. Okay. Brendan. And we're missing Charlie. Brendan, okay, so just came in, okay. And Daniel, Jian, okay. And we're missing Charlie, who's here, okay. And alright, so let's hope that's still recording this video. That's our only person missing. Okay. If you want to use your phone, let's hope that's still recording this video. If it works, yes. Alright, so if you want to use your phone, pretty much only one material, right? If it works, yes. Did I do glass last time? Alright, so last time we applied pretty much only one material, right? But let's start with glass. Did I do glass last time? Glass, you know, looks like I didn't. How we can achieve color and those things. But let's start with glass because there was a lot of make sure glass, that before I start any rendering, how we can achieve color and those things, right? So to see let me first of all make sure that before I start any rendering, I'll take a quick shot, you know, rendering to see where I stand. So let me do a quick shot here and see what things need to be modified when I'm here. Let's go. So start thinking about what things you want to ask me when I'm here. Let's go. All right, so let's start by covering glass and water, right? So start to make a nice water. All right, so let's start by covering glass and water, so right? Let's start with so start to make a nice water this scene doesn't need much, right? Really, right? It requires so very let's little, start with let's start. So actually, this scene doesn't need much, right? Really, right? And I'll go. It requires very little. So let's leave. Let's start to maybe end, in class detail this scene. Let's start by and I'll go through every step. So let's leave water for the end, right? So let's start by simple things. Yeah, but what material is this up here? You guys should be experts in the. It's just white, right? Now whether it's but what color does it look like? You guys should be experts in the right? So. It's just white because that has a big effect. Whether it's drywall or just painted, it's just for now just a white ceiling, right? So let's make that because that has a big effect on the lighting because right, gray reflects light differently than white. So and again, before you let's make a couple materials, change the names. And if you guys want, you can follow through. With me, I'll go very slow. And again, before you do anything, no bump, change the names. I'm gonna call this no map, right? Because it's white ceiling, right? I'm just gonna change diffuse. And this requires no bump, right? No map, right? Because it's just a color. Right? So, but I'm just gonna change diffuse and make the diffuse white, right? Because or if you have black, don't go all the way to black. But again, don't go all the way to white, right? This black and this white. If you have black, don't go all the way to black where 000, right? Because and no color is truly this black and this white, they're not really actual. They're not true colors because no color is truly white. And no color is truly black. So let's go a little bit beneath the color, right? So move this to my second screen. Select the ceiling. Just double check that it says. And let's. I'm gonna here click. It says roof 01. So move this to my second screen. Meant to be select the ceiling. So let me just double check that it says. Here it says roof 01. So
I don't think it's meant to be roof 01.
Yeah, so you see
so
here,
let me
there's
just
two
check
parts.
here.
The top of the roof, right, and it's the bottom. So
Let's
this
see
top
here.
part is called rooftop, and that's called.
Yeah, so you see
well,
here,
I'm gonna
there's two
change
parts.
actually
It's the top of the
name
roof, right, and it's the bottom.
to
So
ceiling.
this
Otherwise, I'll
top
get
part
confused.
is called rooftop, and
So
that's
now
called.
when I click here,
so I'm gonna change
I
actually
know
this
that it's
name
ceiling, right?
to ceiling.
And
Otherwise,
when I
I'll
click
get
here and then
confused.
just apply this. And I'm
So
done.
now when I click
First
here,
change. Let's
I
move
know
to
that
the
it's
next
ceiling, right?
material, right? What
I'm
should we
gonna
do
click
next?
here and then just apply this, and I'm done. Right?
We'll do that last.
First change. Let's move to the next material, right?
glass?
What should we
Alright,
do
let's
next?
glass. So let's start here, right? We'll do that last. We'll call this
The glass. All right, let's do glass.
I'll go through it,
So,
for now fast.
let's start here, right?
We'll cover the thing last class.
We'll call this
Our glass diffuse. How are we gonna make
glass.
it?
I'll go through
wanna
it,
go
for
something
now
like,
fast because this will cover the thing last
Wilson?
class. But our glass diffuse. How are we gonna make it?
Background? Yes, we can do that. Yes.
I wanna go
I'm
to
gonna make
something
it
like
a charcoal, right? Gray.
Wilson,
Put a background because it has a
background.
a
Yes, we can do that. Yes.
reflection, right?
I'm gonna make it to like a
We're
charcoal,
going to
right?
Uncheck
Gray.
Fresno, right?
Put a
Because,
background because it has a
we're not going for a matte finish. We're going for a very glossy
reflection,
finish.
right? We're going to uncheck
Make this bigger,
Fresno,
so
right? Because
let's see here.
we're not going for a
Next,
matte finish.
reflect.
We're going for a very
Because
glossy
it's glass,
finish.
we're gonna put it, in the
Make this
you know,
bigger. So
low grays here. Don't
next,
go all the way
reflect.
to white because that becomes a
Because it's
mirror
glass,
finish.
we're gonna put it,
All right,
in
last,
the,
we're gonna
low grays
modify
here.
refract, which
Don't go
controls
all the way to white
transparency.
because that becomes a mirror finish.
So again, black means solid, and anything
right,
going
last,
towards white means more
we're gonna
transparent.
modify refract,
So
which
I'm gonna go
controls
very close
transparency.
to the end.
So
like
again,
this.
black
Now we
means
can see that
solid,
we can
and
see
anything
behind
going
the
towards
sphere.
white means more transparent.
And the last thing
So I'm
is,
gonna go very
what's
close
the last thing we do
to
here?
the end, like
So
this.
right now, just,
we can
it's
see
a
that we can
clear
see
piece of
behind the
glass.
sphere.
So color is controlled
And
by
the last
this
thing
part
is,
here, the fog
what's the
color.
last thing we do here?
And what does the fog bias
So right now,
do?
just it's a clear piece of glass.
Yes.
So
it adjusts
color is
the tint of the
controlled by
glass.
this part
So if I
here,
go
the
here on
fog
the
color.
color, let's say
And what does
something
the
in the green,
fog
right?
bias do?
If I move this,
Yes,
take much
it adjusts
to go
the
green,
tint
right?
of the
If you
glass.
go here, it gets very
So if I
deep
go
green.
here on the color,
It gets
let's
very
say
solid. So
something
if I
in the
go back
green,
to
right?
white,
If I
it
move
should become
this,
clear. So it only
doesn't take
actually
much,
takes a
to go
tiny
green,
bit
right?
of
If you go here, it gets
moving
very
it,
deep green, right?
to make
It gets
it
very
into
solid.
green.
So if I go back to white,
And then this
it
controls
should become clear.
how
So
light
it only
will pass
actually
through
takes
it.
a
So
tiny bit of
for now, I'm gonna
moving
put
it,
it at 15.
right, to make it into a green.
So
And then
it goes
this
back to being
controls
clear. And later I
how
can
light will
adjust
pass
here
through it. So
and make it a
for
bit
now,
more.
I'm gonna put it at 15.
Let's make it green.
So it goes back to being clear. And later I can adjust
Forgot what
here
green tone, but something
and
like
make it
that,
a bit
let's say.
more. Oops.
So we can
make
add
it
more green here.
Green.
See, it starts to get a little darker.
So forget
So
what
if this
green
number
tone,
is
but something
0,
like that,
the
let's say.
color is set to be
So
very
we can
strong,
add more
right?
green here.
So it's a very saturated color
starts to
that
get a little
allows
darker.
that light doesn't really pass
So
through.
if this number is
by
0,
going high
the
here, it makes
color
the color
is
less
set to be very
saturated
strong, right?
and less
So it's a
dense,
very saturated
so
color
light
that
can go
allows
past it.
that light doesn't really pass through it. So
This is
by
the
going high
fog
here, it makes the
bias.
color less
The higher
saturated
you go, it
and
allows
less
light to go
dense,
past it much more
so
clear.
light can go past it.
Yeah. So for now,
This
I'm
is
gonna just
the
apply
fog
here.
bias.
Oh,
The higher
glass,
you go,
apply,
it allows light to
and
go
leave it there.
past
I'll
it
come
much
back to
more
it later
clear.
and test it out.
Yeah.
Let's make the
So
next
for now,
easy one,
I'm
which
gonna
is
just apply
this
it
one.
here.
What is this here?
Oh, the glass, apply, and
Yeah,
leave
the
it there.
center
I'll
of
come back to
metal
it later
aluminum,
and,
right?
and test it out.
I'm just gonna call it.
Let's make the
metal
next
for now.
easy one, which is this, right?
All right,
What is
so how
this
do we
here?
make metal?
Yeah, it's some type of metal, aluminum, right? So I'm just gonna call it metal for now.
Yes. So let's go first to the background.
All right. So how do we make metal?
Diffuse. In this case, diffuse controls what in the middle?
Yes. So let's go first to the background, right?
Yes.
Diffuse.
So see, reflect.
The-
I'm gonna go.
in this case, diffuse
very
controls
close
what in the
to
middle?
White, right? I'm going to uncheck Fresno, right? Like this.
Yes. So
And this
see,
metal
reflect.
here,
I'm
the
gonna
one
go.
for the- if you look at the
very
images,
close to
Right,
white,
it's not
right?
a perfectly mirror finish.
I'm
right?
going to
It has a
uncheck
little bit of,
Fresno, right?
Distortion to it, right? So
Like this, right?
in this case, I'm gonna lower
And this
the
metal
glossiness
here,
to
the
like
one for the, if you look at the
0.let's say
images,
0.95.
it's not a perfectly mirror
So I don't
finish,
want
right?
these
It has a
lines to
little bit
look
of a
so
distortion
precise,
to it, right?
maybe
So
0.9.
in this case, I'm gonna lower the glossiness to like point, let's say 9.5.
And for
So
now,
I don't want
it's
these
okay.
lines
Later I
to
can
look
go back
so
if I need to make
precise,
any,
so maybe 0.9.
modification. Let's try 0.93. So that
So-
looks to me a little better, but
And
we'll
for
check
now,
later.
it's okay. Later, I can
And
go
for
back
now,
if I need
really,
to make
that's the
any
only change
modification.
for,
Let's try
for metal.
0.93.
The diffuse here right now is
So
a
that looks
light
to me
gray.
a little better, but
If I make
we'll
it
check
darker
later.
gray, what's gonna happen?
And for now, really, that's the only change for metal. The diffuse here, right now, it's a light gray.
Let me go back to like white.
If I make it darker gray, what's gonna happen?
Do you see how when I go lower, it becomes
It,
more
it
like
gives
a
the
grayish.
material. Let me go back to
When
like
I
white
go
here.
towards black, it gets more like a pure,
You see
crystal clear
how
color. So
when I go lower, it becomes more like a
I guess
grayish
grayish.
Aluminum is not really.
When I go towards black,
I guess it depends what metal you really.
It gets more like a pure,
I'm gonna make it a bit
crystal
more
clear
towards,
color. So
white.
Being
I guess
then
aluminum is not really. I guess depends what metal really, but
So
for now I'm gonna make it a
let's
bit
say
more
that's my metal,
towards
right? Very simple.
white.
Just play with the diffuse.
Then render it, then see what it
and
looks
the
like, and
glossiness.
I'll make a
Nothing
change
more.
afterwards.
I'm gonna
So
apply
for now,
to
let's
all
say
the
that's my metal, right? Very simple.
It'll be the metal.
Just play with the
columns
diffuse, reflect,
and the metal frame.
and the glossiness. Nothing more.
That you say mullions.
I'm gonna apply it to all the metal. It'll be the metal
Let's go on
columns
to at least one more.
and
Let's
the
try
metal
this one here,
frame.
right? This one we did last
That
time
you say
in class, right?
mullions.
Or no?
All right.
So what's
Let's
the
go
other
on
class I did?
to at least one more. Let's try this one here, right? This one we did last time in class, right?
Monday class, yeah.
Or no?
That's right.
So what's the other class that I did more? Okay.
It's too early to decide, you know.
Monday class,
But I
yeah.
think I have here more former
That's
students, you know. So for now, maybe this class.
It's too early to decide,
Let's see here.
Well, I think I have here more
this
former
we're
students.
gonna make it bigger, right? And how can
So
I
for
make
now,
this
maybe
material
this
a lot
class.
easier to make, so I don't have to go back to every single step? What can I use that I
Let's see
already
here.
have?
So this we're gonna make it bigger,
So
right?
This material.
And
here,
how can I
is
make this material a lot easier to make, so I
like
don't
a
have to go back
green
to every single
marble
step?
wall, right?
What can I use
so
that
that I don't have to
already
select again. I'll fold the location.
So this
glossiness.
material here this is
How can I make it very quickly?
it's like a green marble wall, right?
Exactly.
So that I don't have
I'm
to
gonna
select
drag
again.
over,
I'll fold the location.
here, right?
Travertine,
I'm gonna call
glossiness.
this
How can I make it very quickly?
exterior.
Exactly.
let's say
So I'm gonna
green
drag over
marble.
to here, right? The travertine. I'm gonna call this
And because by doing this,
exterior.
this maps are saved in a
let's
certain
say
folder,
green
right? Otherwise, I have
marble.
to go to bitmap, search, find the folder, and do everything again. So
And because
it saves,
by doing this,
I'll say, a couple minutes.
this maps are saved in a
So for
certain
now,
folder,
I'm
right?
going
Otherwise,
to
I have to
remove
go to
the
bitmap, search, find the
reflect,
folder, and do everything again. So it saves, I would say,
And I'll
a couple
remove
minutes.
the bump for
So
now.
for now,
You just
I'm
leave
going to
diffuse,
just
right?
remove
So
the
go to diffuse,
reflect,
go to the bitmap folder, and now you're there.
and I'll
easily now
remove
search
the
for the next
bump
material.
for now, and
You
just
see we
leave
have
diffuse,
green
right?
external and
So
green
go to
internal.
diffuse.
So I'm gonna use green external.
Go to the bitmap folder,
Open this.
and now you're there. You can easily now search for the next
Before
material.
we apply this,
And you see we have green
is
external and
this
green
marble
internal. So I'm going to
more
use
glossy
green
or
external.
less glossy than the other one?
Open this.
Less. Okay, so let's see if we can.
And before we apply
I did
this,
put here like
is this marble more glossy or less glossy than the other one?
Here we go.
Less. Okay, so let's see if we can. I
So
think
I
I did
find
put here
some
like
image that gives me. This gives you a
Barcelona
bad because you can't tell if it's reflective
go.
or not, right? Also, why is this part here more white than this part here?
So I want to find some image that gives me.
this just
this gives
any
you a
material,
bad
right,
because you
exposed
can't
to
tell
light
if it's
for a long
reflective or not,
time.
right?
A painting,
Also,
clothing
why
gonna
is
be
this
what
part here more white
will lose
than this
color,
part
right?
here?
So we're not gonna care about this
So
right
this
now.
just
We're not gonna care about, this
any
part being more
material,
washed
right?
out than the other
Exposed to
one.
light
Just
for a long
imagine
time.
it's just one
A painting, clothing
material.
is
I
going
want
to
to
be
get a
what
shot that shows
will lose color, right? So
what that wall looks
we're
like.
not going to care about this right now. We're not going to worry about this part
we
being
can
more
determine
washed
how
out than the other one.
reflective it
It's
is.
just be imagine it's just
So
one
again, this won't say much.
material. But I want to get a shot that shows
Something on
what
the
that
side,
wall looks
like
like.
Is right. We can see that
So we
there
can
is a
determine
bit
how
of,
reflective it is.
reflection, right? We can see
So
also
again, this
here.
won't say much.
Is there a bump? This
Something on the side,
so not
like
really.
here.
It's a pretty smooth finish.
That's right. We can see that there is
we
a
can
bit
assume
of
that maybe over the years
reflection,
it's
right? We
become
can see
more,
also here.
rough. But
Is there a
overall, it's
bump?
pretty smooth finish
This-
material. Even these
So
lines,
not really.
don't
It's a
see
pretty smooth
big,
finish, and
bump, but
we
if
can
you want,
assume
you
that
can
it's
make a
maybe
bump
over
for
the
that,
years
like
has
we did,
become
in
more
class, last time.
rough, but overall it's a pretty
So
smooth
you did it,
finished
yeah?
material.
Okay, good.
Even these lines
So
really
for now,
don't
I'm
see
just
a
gonna
big
for now leave it like this, right?
bump, but
And
if you want, you
this
could make a bump for
is-
that.
Actually,
like
right now
we
it's
did,
very,
class,
it's not really that
last
glossy
time.
because
So
this
you
came
did it,
from
yeah?
that
Okay, good.
travertine marble.
So for now,
How
I'm
do
just
I
gonna
make this
for
more
now leave it like
glossy?
this, right? And this
Let's go back over here.
is
You
actually
guys
right now it's not really that glossy because this came from
what's
that
the first step to
travertine
make this
marble.
less-
So
more glossy?
how do I make this more glossy?
So first step is to take away.
Let's go back
fresco,
over
right?
here. You guys tell me.
That's gonna make it very glossy, right?
So what's the first step
Next,
to make this
I'm
less
going
more
to,
glossy?
reflect.
So
Actually,
first
right now
step is
it's
to
too
take
high, so
away
I'm gonna make it
fresno,
lower.
right? That's gonna make it very glossy,
And
right?
Maybe increase.
Next,
the
I'm going
glossiness
to,
from 0.7 to like 0.8.
Reflect. Actually, right now it's too high, so I'm gonna make
so
it
now
lower.
we see some amount of glossiness here, right?
Right.
And for now, again, I'm just
And
guessing.
maybe
I won't know
increase
until I render
the
the image,
glossiness
if
from
I have to go
0.7
higher
to
or
like
lower, right?
0.8.
So for now, I make a guess.
So now we see some amount
let's
of
say this one
glossiness
looks
here,
pretty
right?
Good. And,
And
the
for
next
now,
thing
again,
is to
I'm
do
just
what?
guessing. I won't know until I render the image.
So
if
yes,
I have
I'm
to go
gonna
higher
just,
or lower, right?
And it's always
So for
good to
now, I
work,
make
in
I
two
guess
screens, one image
let's
is
say
your
this
reference,
looks pretty good.
one other shot.
And the
is
next
your,
thing is
your
to do what?
program here. So I'm gonna select this.
So yes, I'm gonna
apply
just
this.
and it's always good to work,
and we can see
in
our
two
first,
screens. One
problem
image
here.
is your
What's the problem
reference.
here?
One other shot is your
It's too easy.
program
Let
here.
me
So
find, where's
I'm
that
gonna
shot?
select this.
apply this, and we can see our first, problem here. What's the problem here? All right, so let's see. I want to see if I can actually. It's somehow, 2. Yeah. So let me find where's that shot here? I'm gonna minimize this thing here, so we can see everything at once. Slow today. All right, so let's see. I want to see if I can actually somehow. I don't know, minimize this thing here, so we can see everything at once. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we can see. So first of all, let's look at this panel here. What can we tell about this space, this material? All right, so we can we can see. So 3 blocks, right? You can see here. So first of all, let's look at this panel here. It looks to be what can we tell about this space, this material? But the major thing is that we do have a certain pattern. It has 3 blocks, right? You can see here 1, 2, and 3. Here it looks to be roughly 3 blocks for now, right? That pattern, it's. But the major thing is that here. But the main problem here is that we do have a certain pattern here. It looks like a little. How do we uncompress like a butterfly or something, Wilson? But that pattern, it's we can kind of see here. But the main problem here is that everything is too compressed, right? So how do we uncompress the second material way through Wilson toweling So I'm gonna towel this. So go back to the original material, right? Go down to its location. In this case, diffuse. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna see the second way through toweling currently 1 and so I'm gonna towel this. So go back to the original material, right? Go down to its location. What happens to this case, diffuse. It became. And we're gonna see here that it's tile currently 1 and 1, right? So we do 0.5. So just look at the shot here. If I go higher, let's say if I go to 3, what happens to the toweling? All right, let's leave it as 0.4. It became. And the next thing, I guess, so we have to go actually lower. Be very picky, right? So let's say we do 0.5. Maybe try to find the same pattern. A little better, right? I don't know if it's there. 0.4. Let's try 0.4. Let's check. All right, let's leave it as 0.4. And the next thing, I guess, if you really, you can be very picky, right? Maybe it's this one here, right? Maybe try to find the same pattern. I don't know if it's not exactly correct. It doesn't matter. Just try to get the correct scale. And looks like it's something like this, maybe. Maybe this one here, right? If it's off, then but again, if it's not exactly correct, it doesn't matter. Just try to get the correct scale. Material, right? So now we have the ceiling, something like this, the metal, the glass, the marble. If it's off, then not a big deal. Now let's do one more about these things here. What's below this water? All right, for now, I'm pretty happy with this material, right? So now we have the ceiling, the metal, the glass. Again, I'm gonna do the same thing here. The marble, the wall. Drag this over here, right? Let's do one more, right? What's below this water? We can see here. It's like a black tile, right? I can drag in this one here. Again, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to call it just drag this over here, right? And this material will be actually a lot easier. And we're going to call this... Why is that? I can drag in this one here, the travertine. Besides that, I'm going to call it just black tile, right? It's under the water, so what does that mean? And this material will be actually a lot easier. Why is that? I don't care about bump, right? I don't care about reflection because the water is going to supersede those things. Besides that, I really don't care about reflect. I don't care about... It's under the water, so what does that mean? Here. I'm just going to change the diffuse. Yes, I don't care about bump, right? I don't care about reflection because the water is going to, supersede those things. So I really don't care about reflect. I don't care about bump here. I'm just going to change the diffuse. I don't care about glossiness, so I'm going to put it back to 1. Fresno, black tile. Take away, and then reflect. I also don't care about, let me go back to the main folder. So just simply it's a matte. I don't care about glossiness, so I'm going to put it back to 1. So it'll be a lot easier. Fresno, so we're going to select take away, and then reflect. Again, go back to black. So it has no reflection. Small pool base. So just simply it's a matte black tile that is lies beneath the water. So it'll be a lot easier. So we're going to select this small pool top. No. Again. Small pool base, so we're going to apply to the small pool base, right? We're going to do right click it, isolate selection, there apply. Okay, so that was my mistake. So how come I can't see the black tile? You're going to do right click it, water to the isolate selection. The surface, right? It's still a solid surface, right? So okay, so for now, that was my mistake. So how come I can't see the black tile? Right, so I can see this tile because I didn't apply any water to the scale, right? The surface, right? It's still a solid surface, right? So always 2 maps. So for now, let's say I'm going to right click it and hit isolate selection, right? So I can see this tile because I just want to briefly adjust the scale, right? So I'm going to apply like always 2 maps. All right. We'll do UV 10 feet for now. Map box. No, not yet. And we'll do map scale. This is black tile. So the scale right now,
let's give it some scale. Let's say 10 feet for now.
I don't care too much. I can kind of see the scale here, but we can go back later and adjust the scale.
Not yet.
The main thing is applied.
This is black tile.
The next things are pretty easy. All right, so now we'll get to water.
So the scale right now,
I don't care too much. I can kind of see the scale here, but
so how do we start making
we can go back later and adjust the scale. The main thing is applied. And we the next things are pretty easy.
Water that is
all right, so now we'll
clear.
get to water.
Wilson's been waiting since last class.
Smooth, or water that has.
All right, so how do we start making water?
Ripples, right? So
also,
and we can make two water types. Water that is just
if
clear.
we go into detail, I mean, does it have
clear,
a certain tint to it, or it's just clear?
Smooth, or water that has.
I think it's just
ripples, right? So
also this water here.
So we're gonna assume that
if we go into detail, I mean, does it have a certain tint
so this
to
water
it, or
is
just
you
clear?
hardly see anything.
I think
There's
it's
a
just
few lines here, right?
But
it's because it's more light and because of the
so
angle.
we're gonna assume that it's
camera,
clean water.
If you're looking at water straight down.
Exactly. So this water is you hardly see anything. There's a few lines here, right? But
so for now,
it's because it's more light and because of the angle,
ways.
right, of the camera, right?
Let me move to this.
If you're looking
side,
at
water straight down, you can see through it, right? If you look at it very
I'll
much
use this
at
one,
the same level,
drag it here.
it looks like a mirror finish. So
for
for
now,
now, this one,
we're gonna use just
water
actually let's do it two ways. Let me move to this side here, right? So we get two fresh boxes,
and let's see.
I'll use this one, right?
We're gonna
Drag
make
it here.
more reflective,
and I'm gonna call this one
here.
Water
color. I'm
simple.
gonna remove the color because we're not gonna give any colors
to start, right?
Go back to
and
white.
let's see. We're gonna keep it
bias
as
back
we're gonna
to
make it more reflective. So
0.
go lower here.
I think that was default setting. So 1.
The color, I'm gonna remove the color
so
because
now this water you can see
we're not gonna give any colors
to this.
Go
this
back to white
right?
and bias
and I'm
back
just gonna
to
select this surface,
0.
small pool top, and
I think that was
apply
default setting,
this
1, I think. All right, so now this
All right,
water
so
you
for
can
now,
see comparing this water to this,
let's
this
try
is a bit
this,
more
and then we'll make
transparent.
afterwards the more.
And I'm just gonna
complex
select
water.
this surface, small pool top.
For the water right
and
now, it's
apply
the exact
this
same
one,
thing
right?
as glass. The only difference is
All right, so for now,
I made the reflection.
let's
a bit
try this,
stronger.
and then we'll make afterwards
So I went a bit
the
lower
more
to the
complex
lighter
water.
gray. Yes. And I've removed the color. So
For the water right now, it's the exact same
went
thing as
back to
glass.
0. I mean, to
The only
white.
difference is I
and went to
I made the
bias.
reflection a bit
That's the only
stronger.
difference. It just makes the water
So I went
more
a bit lower to the
transparent.
lighter gray,
and I made it
and
more,
I've
more
removed the
reflective.
color. So under
So
the
at this point,
color,
I can make my
went back to
first
0.
let's say
I mean, to
test
white,
rendering,
and
then we
went
can make
to
the
the
next
bias
set of
to 0. That's the only difference. It just makes the water more
as to what to change
transparent,
next.
right? And I made it more reflective.
Let's put this here.
So at this point, I can make my first, let's say, test rendering, and then we can make the next set of
This one?
analysis
As to what to change next.
give me a second. It won't
So
let
let's
me
put
what
this
this is
here.
rendering, so yeah, let's see. Okay, yes. This one? Alright, give me a second. It won't let me what this is rendering, so yeah, let's see. Okay, yes. All right, so I mean, what's the first thing that you notice about this image? Really? I think it looks horrible. But no, besides that, look closely.
All right, so I mean,
what's the main problem
what's
here?
the first thing that you notice about this image?
One thing is, but besides that, look
Really?
in here. It has too
I think it
much
looks
what?
horrible.
Noise, right? It has way too much noise,
But no, besides that,
look
all this
closely.
noise
What's
here,
the main
noise
problem
here.
here?
Noise means that you're dealing with a reflective surface, right?
One thing is, but besides
And
that,
that means that because
look
it's
in here.
reflective, it needs
It
more.
has too much what?
more time
noise,
to
right?
render, right?
It has way too much
light
noise,
balance, right?
All
So right
this
now we're
noise
doing a
here,
very
noise
quick,
here. Noise
rendering,
means
so
that you're
you can
dealing with a
see
reflective surface, right?
Even here, all these
And
edges
that means
have a lot
that
of
because
noise,
it's
right?
reflective, it needs
Even
more
this line that should be straight,
more
right?
time to render, right?
doesn't look
It
straight,
needs
right?
more light bounce, right?
So
So right
again,
now we're
let it
doing a
render
very
here,
quick,
I'm gonna stop it for
rendering.
now.
So
And
we can
how
see
do we address noise?
even here, all these edges have a lot of noise, right? Even this
Yeah,
line
so
that
let's
should be
just do,
straight, right?
Not the whole thing because
It doesn't look
this
straight,
one
right?
took a minute and 36 seconds. If I do
So
bucket,
again, let
this
it
thing might
render
take
here.
20 minutes.
I'm gonna stop it for now. And how do we address noise?
That was my mistake. I shouldn't have done render again.
Yeah, so let's just do not the whole thing because
Let's leave it again.
this one took a minute and 36 seconds. If I do a bucket, this thing might take
But
20
we can
minutes.
start to see a few things. Right? This water here,
Not that.
we can make it a bit more what?
That was my mistake. I shouldn't have done render again.
Yes, more reflective, right? I wouldn't worry about the noise
Okay,
at
let's
this
leave it
point
again.
because I'll do a couple of renderings that are just small.
But we can start to see a few things.
regions, right? So I can
This
see
water
exactly
here,
what it looks like.
we can
if
make it a
I,
bit more what?
Upgrade to a much better quality.
Yes, more reflective, right?
Engine.
I wouldn't worry about the noise at this point because I'll do a couple of renderings that are just
So we're getting
small
very close to here.
regions, right? So I can see exactly what it looks like
And
if
the
I
thing with noise is sometimes there's
upgrade
little
to a much
noise,
better quality,
sometimes it's more
rendering
noise,
engine.
even though it's the same file, right? So this thing I blame on the computer
Okay,
because
so we're getting very close
they
to
act
here.
differently here every day.
And the thing with noise is sometimes there's little noise, sometimes there's more noise, even though it's the same file, right?
Noise, so anything
this
that has
thing I
reflection, right,
blame on the computer
with bump
because
requires
they
more
act differently
light
here
bounce,
every
right?
day.
And it requires more time to render, right?
All right, let's
And
let this.
because we're doing
Yeah.
right now progressive, then it renders
Noise,
quickly by
so
skipping
anything that has
several
reflection,
steps
right,
of light
with bump
bounce, right?
requires
By going to
more
bucket,
light bounce, right?
It takes
and
more
it
time.
requires
to
more
calculate
time
light
to
bounce.
render, right?
So it would.
And because
smooth out all
we're
those
doing right
edges.
now
So
progressive,
let me do a stop here
then
for 1 second
it
and go
renders
to,
quickly by skipping
render
several
setup.
steps of light,
So
bounce,
we
right?
can see.
By going to bucket, it takes more time to calculate light
So if
bounce.
you go to Vray, right?
So it would
and just change
smooth out
this
all those
setting,
edges. So
type
let me do a stop
to
here for 1
bucket,
second
right?
and go to
and
render
I do
setup.
a region,
right?
or let's say over here, but we have very
So
strong noise.
we can
right?
see.
This part.
Let's see here.
And let's
So
zoom
if
in
you
here
go to
closely, right?
V-Ray, right, and just change this setting type to
The
bucket,
main thing
right,
that you can see the noises and the edges, right?
and I do a
this edge
region,
should be
or
more
let's say over
pronounced,
here, but we have
much
very
smoother,
strong
right?
noise, right? This part.
You can see from here to here, right? A dramatic difference between
And let's zoom in here
the noise
closely,
levels,
right?
right? Again, all this pixelation.
The main thing
is
that
just
you can see the
because
noises and
our
the
image is
edges,
very
right?
low
This edge should be more pronounced, much
quality,
smoother,
right?
right?
If we go to like a much
You can see
look
from here
there,
to here,
right?
right? A dramatic
see
difference
a
between
difference?
the noise levels, right?
it looks much better, right? So
Again, all this
again,
pixelation
bucket,
is just
this
because
this
our
will
image is
take
very
you
low
more
what?
time to render. But
Quality,
so what I do
right?
here
As we
is
go
I do
to like a
little
much
tests,
but
I
look
might
there,
go,
right?
next one I
Do you
might
see
go
a
here, right?
difference?
Do a small test. I'm not going to render the
It looks
entire scene
much
again
better, right?
because
So
I'm gonna waste
again,
half
this is
an hour,
bucket,
right?
this is progressive.
So I do
This will
little
take you
pieces
more time to render.
so that I can estimate.
But so what I do here is I
do
doing little tests,
before I do
I might go,
a full
next
render
one I might go
of the
here,
scene.
right? Do a small test. I'm not going to render the entire scene again because I'm going to waste half an hour, right? So I do little pieces so that I can estimate what the whole scene is going to look like before I do a full render of the scene.
Yes, it's not really that bad, but in class you see here, right? Also, looks a little better, right? And I would do one more, which is here in the water, right? I want to test out this little piece, and once I'm happy with those tests, then I'll go and test out the next material.
It's not really that bad, but in class you see here, right?
The
Also,
material is not really that
looks a little
difficult
better,
to
right?
create, right?
And I would do
Pretty much
one
the same
more, which
steps
is
for
here
each
in the
one,
water,
right?
right? I want
It's
to
a
test
matter of
out this little
modifying
piece,
the mapping, the scaling,
and once I'm
the
happy
tile,
with
right?
those tests,
much better here, right?
then I'll go and test out the
Smoother
next
surface,
material.
right? Water looks much better.
I mean, material is not really that
So,
difficult to
I'm
create,
pretty
right?
happy with
It's
this
pretty
now.
much the same steps for each
So
one, right?
let's actually do.
It's a matter of modifying the mapping, the scaling,
Let's do
the
the next
tile,
water,
right?
right? Which is the water that
See,
has
much better here, right?
a ripples, right?
Smoother surface,
Scott.
right?
Yeah.
Water looks much better. So I'm pretty happy with this now. So let's actually do.
Refraction, yes. Yes.
Let's do the next water, right? Which is the water that has
Yes.
a ripples, right? Scott.
Yeah. Let's go here. So let's go to so refract, right? Refract. If you go to white, that's transparent.
Refraction, yes.
Black means solid.
Yes.
Diffuse. Diffuse just makes
go
the
here.
color more
So
richer.
let's go
or
to,
less, more like
So
diluted.
refract, right?
Like,
Refract. If you go to white, that's
Like
transparent.
this is well right now.
Black
again,
means solid.
let's see.
Uh,
It won't have any effect here because the main. You see, there's an M here, right?
diffuse.
That means that the M means material.
Diffuse just makes the color
So right
more
now, this
richer
has no
or
effect,
less, more like
But
diluted.
if you go down here,
Like
the diffuse is controlled by this map.
like if
right?
this is
So
not well right now again.
this
Let's
element
see.
here works as
It
the
won't
black
have
to white,
any
right?
effect here
Right
because
now, this
the
material is
main.
set to 100%,
You see,
and
there's
it's
an
gonna
M here, right? That means that the
exactly
M means
what it looks
material,
like.
right?
If I decrease
So right now this has
number
no
that's set
effect,
to 50%,
But
what
if
do
you
think is
go
going to
down
happen?
here, the diffuse is controlled by this map, right? So
we took out
this
some of the color, right?
element
It's
here
still
works
there,
as
right?
the
But we
black
can
to
be
white.
very,
Right? Right now,
to
this
65,
material is
it
set to
gets
100%. I mean, it's going to show
85, darker.
exactly what it looks like.
Or should you have
If I
more
decrease
control
this number that's set to
to
50%, what do you
saturate
think is going to happen?
material or take away some of the color?
we took out some of the color, right?
Make the glass
it's
more
still
like
there,
a,
right? But we can be very,
like a,
we do 65, it gets darker,
piece of glass
85,
versus
darker.
a dirty piece of glass.
Or should you have more control
crystal clear,
to
let's say.
saturate
That's pretty much
or take away some of the color?
All right, you're welcome.
Lenny, for glass, it make the glass more like a.
I hope so.
It's like
I can't
it's like a very clean piece of glass
good information
versus a dirty piece of glass.
You're taking notes?
It looks more crystal clear, let's say.
All right, so then tell me.
That's pretty much the only difference.
But if you don't say anything, then I'm going to keep talking.
Lenny.
All right, so if you don't get it, just tell me and
I can't guarantee it.
Okay? All right, so
it's good information.
I think Charlie's
taking notes.
Some recordings. All right, so then tell me.
Right,
talk
so
slower.
The next thing here is.
But if you don't say anything, then I'm going to keep talking.
Ripples.
All right, so
how do we do it?
If you don't get it, just tell me and I'll do it again, okay? All right, so
yes, it's a bump. That's all right.
I think Charlie's been taking some recordings.
All right, so the next thing here is how do we create
simple,
ripples
to here?
So
change
how
the
do we
name,
do it?
right?
You guys, give me a hint.
I don't know. Call it water.
Yes,
Advance.
It's a bump. That's all right. So, and how do I start?
Ripples too. Yes, you can say that. Again, for now, no change.
I'm gonna
here,
copy
the same.
water simple, right?
The only difference is what?
Change the name, right?
I'll go to maps, right? And I want to
call
apply
it water
diffuse, right?
Advance.
I'll apply a bump map, right? And I'll use one that is
ripples too. Yes, you can say that.
From, 3D Max.
Again,
So
for now, no change
no
here.
map,
Right? Everything
right?
the same. The
And
only
this
difference is
time,
what?
I'm not going to go to bitmap.
I'll go to
right?
maps, right?
I'm going to choose from here.
I want to apply diffuse, right?
Maps. Yes.
I'll apply a bump map, right?
With glass,
and I'll use one that is
yes.
default map from 3D Max. So I'm gonna click on
from
no
here,
map, right?
Which one do you think I
And
could
this
use
time
to make,
I'm not going to go to
ripples?
bitmap, right? I'm gonna choose from here. These are all
Yes.
bump maps. Yes.
I want to bump, right? And then you're gonna see general here.
With
right?
glass, yes, exactly, yes. So from here,
Waves.
which one do you think I could use to make ripples?
Let's see here.
I'm sorry?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to bump, right?
I never used waves
and
before.
then you're gonna see
I
general
always use
here, right?
a different one, but we can try that one too today in class. I always use noise, right?
Wait, where's
so let's try both of them, right? So we can see what they do. So noise, I'm gonna pick a noise, right? And do OK.
Maybe.
See what happens to the map now.
I've never used waves before. I always
It gives
use
it a bit of
a
noise,
different
right?
one. But we can try that one too today in class. I always use noise.
Did it happen
right?
in yours?
So let's try both of them, right?
So
we
guys,
can
if
see
you
what
look
they
at
do.
here, right? If I go
So
back to the
noise,
actual
I'm gonna pick a noise, right?
location, right?
And do
Here's
OK.
the bump, right? Inside here,
See
it'll
what
say
happens
noise,
to the
right?
map
So,
now.
Right? This
It gives it a
bump,
bit of
again,
noise,
if I make
right?
it 300, let's say.
Did it happen in yours? So
It's gonna
guys, if
make
you
it,
look
you
at
know,
here,
a
right?
bit
If
more
I go back to
bumpy.
the actual
But the main
location,
control
right?
for the bump
Here's the bump,
is not
right?
found here. It's found
Inside here, it'll
this.
say
If I
noise,
go
right? So,
inside the noise. There's
this
a control here
bump,
called
again, if I
size,
make
right?
it 300,
So
let's say,
size controls the size of the ripples. So if I make it say 50,
it's gonna make it,
what
a bit
happens
more
to the ripples?
bumpy. But the main control for the
If I
bump
do 5,
is not found here. It's found inside this. So if I
much
go
less.
inside the noise,
and this
there's
you
a
really
control
cannot
here
guess,
called size, right?
until you render
So
it, right?
size
Because
controls the size of
it's
the ripples.
It's a
So if I
property
make it
that
say
you cannot
50,
see here. So
what happens
for
to the
now,
ripples?
if I go here and I apply this material, let's
Big,
say
right? If I
here,
do 5,
click on this,
much less.
apply it
And
won't
this,
see any
you really
difference,
cannot guess
until you actually render.
until you render, right? Because
So at this point,
it's
let's just render
it's a
half this
property
signal
that
here
you
just
cannot
to
see
save
here. So
time.
for
And
now,
then
if I
compare
go
the
here and
other
I
one.
apply this material, let's say to here,
All right, so I
click
can already
on this,
guess my first
apply
problem.
it, you won't see any
should I
difference,
do?
right? Until you actually render. So at this
It's
point,
too wavy, so
let's just
the
render
bumper's
half
too wide.
this scene over here just to save time.
So at this point, I don't have
we
to
can
finish
compare
the
the
whole thing.
other
I can
one.
cancel right away, and I'll go back to my material.
All right, so I can already guess
And
my
should
first
I go
problem.
to what number? You guys tell me.
What should I do?
5.
It's too wavy,
Let's go
so
to
the bump is too
Render
wide.
again.
So at this point, I don't have to finish, the whole thing. I
Okay,
can cancel
that
right
looks a
away.
little better, right?
And I'll go back to my material
Too much
here.
what?
And should I go to what
Too
number?
much?
You
Okay,
guys tell
so-
me.
All right, so too much. So there's 2 ways
5?
to control this, right? So
Let's go
this
to
number
5.
here, the size. What is
Render
that control?
again. Okay, that should look a little better, right?
Let's guess the amount of ways per area, right?
Too much what?
So I know. Also here, she's
Too
gonna
much?
take.
Okay, so...
Actually, am I still
All
on
right, so
bucket
too
rendering?
much.
Wait.
So there's 2 ways to control this, right?
Otherwise, it's
So
gonna take
this
forever.
number
Let me
here,
do,
the size, what does that control?
Render setup. Yes, let me go back to progressive.
Per se, let's guess the amount of ways
So let's
per
render
area, right?
this again.
So I know. Also here, she's gonna take...
Actually, am I still on bucket rendering? Wait.
This otherwise, it's gonna take forever. Let me do
because there's two
render
important settings
setup.
here. Okay.
Yes,
So
let me go back to
like I said,
progressive.
Josh said, that this number controls the
render
amount of waves
this again.
per, let's say, square foot, right, or area. Right. So let's say that we like how this looks. How do we control the actual wave height? Because there's two important settings here. Okay. So like I said,
yes.
Josh said,
Bump,
that
right. So
this
again,
number
the size
controls the amount
controls
of
the wave
waves per,
size,
let's say, square foot, right? The
or
wave
area.
height is you have to go back one.
So let's say
if I
that we
stop
like
here and I go
how this
back
looks.
to,
How do we control
previous
the actual
folder, right?
wave height?
What am I going to modify here?
No.
Yes.
So,
So
yes.
I'm gonna make it from
Bump,
30.
right. So again, the
Let's make it
size
5,
controls
right?
just the wave
So we have
size.
less
That's all.
vertical bump.
The wave height is
there,
you have to
so
go
in this
back
render
one. Right?
only,
So if I
let's say,
stop here and I go back
have
to
this scene, right, again.
the previous folder, right?
What am I going to modify
So
here? You have the same amount of waves.
Yes.
but
So
now
I'm gonna
there's
make it from
less
30.
vertical height in each
Let's
wave,
make it
right?
5,
So
right? So
it
we have
should
less
appear
vertical
more
bump
calm.
happening there. So and let's render only, let's say, have this scene, right? Again.
And actually, I think it looks pretty good because I like the effect of seeing this kind of. So you should have the same amount of waves,
in the
but
the
now
statue,
there's less vertical height in each wave, right? So
All right, guys. What are the
it should
two main
appear
settings here
more
for the water
calm.
that you can control?
Bump and size. So size
Yes.
controls just the amount of
And
waves.
actually, I
per
think it
area,
looks
right?
pretty good because I
And
like
bump
the effect of
controls the
seeing this kind
vertical
of
height. Because right now these two
in the
right
statue,
side,
right?
left side are both the same.
All right, guys.
Size,
What are the
right?
two main
They're
settings
both
here
5
for
and 5.
the water?
But
that
this
you
is
can
a
control?
bump of 30, and that's a bump of 5.
Bump and
right?
size. So size controls just the
So,
amount of waves
again,
per
this is a
area,
personal
right?
choice. I
And
like
bump
this one
controls
better,
the vertical height.
I like how this
because
statue
right
looks
now
to be,
these two
like this waving pattern,
right side, left side
And
are both the same
Again, the bump gives the rendering
size.
a bit more
Right?
of a.
They're both 5 and 5.
It looks more.
But this is a
dramatic,
bump of
right?
30, and that's a bump of 5, right? So again, this is a personal choice. I like this one better, right? I
How we
like
doing
how this
here, guys?
statue looks to be like this
Okay.
waving pattern, right?
That was a
And
noise bump.
Again, the bump gives
Well, actually,
the
let's try wave
rendering a
because I
bit
haven't
more of
tried
a,
wave before. Actually,
it looks more
let's see what
dramatic,
happens
right?
here. So I'm gonna go back to the bump, right? Let's change this noise.
All right.
So actually, let's go like this. It's just.
How are we doing here, guys?
Let's drag here. No map.
That was a noise bump. Well, actually, let's try wave because I haven't tried wave before, actually. Let's see what
Who said
happens here.
waves?
So I'm gonna
Is
go
it,
back to the bump, right?
Wilson. No.
Let's change this noise.
Okay, John. Okay, so let's try waves.
So actually, let's go like this.
Let's
It's
see
just
what happens here.
let's drag here no
It's
map.
less, yeah, but
Right.
let's see here. So
Let's click
it is
here
different,
again,
the
and let's
parameters,
try
right? We
the
have
one
here,
that.
wave
Who
radius.
said waves? Was it
Wave length.
Wilson? No.
Amplitude.
Okay,
which
John.
means
Okay,
what?
let's try waves. Let's see
Height,
what happens
yes.
here.
Wave length. So this
It's
gives
less,
you a
yeah.
more.
But let's see here. So it is different the parameters, right? We have
precise,
here
right? But,
wave
you know,
radius,
I'm not gonna
wave length,
take time to. If you really want to go here,
amplitude,
I think this is more
which means
waves like
what?
in the ocean, right? If you want to control the wave pattern, the wave
Height,
size,
yes.
the wave spacing, the wave
Wave
height,
length.
you can try.
So
wave,
this
right?
gives you a more
I found that the other one noise is much more simple. Same
precise,
effect, you know,
right? But
but you're free to.
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna
try all these
take
things,
time
you know.
to.
I'm
If
gonna
you really
put it
want to
back
go
again
here,
to,
I'm thinking this is more waves
just,
like in the ocean, right?
noise.
If you want to control the wave pattern, the wave size, the wave spacing, the wave
Let's put it back
height,
here again.
you can try waves, right?
I'll go back.
I
to
found that the other
noise.
one noise is much more simple. Same effect, but you're free to to try out these things. I'm gonna put it back again to just noise.
And 5, right?
Let's put it back here again. I'll go back to noise.
All right, let me do a full rendering at this point.
And 5, right? All right, let me do a full rendering at this point.
Anybody stuck? Anybody? Okay. Let me actually take a. Let me try to stop the video now. Maybe it's because of the video length that it gets to be not working right. So let me render this one here. I'll stop the video now, and we can do.
Anybody stuck?
Case,
Anybody?
right? I want to test it out that it actually is working. Hopefully.
Okay. Let me actually take a. Let me try to stop the video now. Maybe it's because of the video length that
today.
it gets to be
That'll be
not
my
working
part
right.
two of the
So
class.
let me render this one here. I'll stop the video now,
environment.
and we can do
Yes.
always a part 2 in case, right?
Yes.
I want to
the
test it out
rest,
that it
it's
actually
just
is
mapping,
working.
different things, but it's the
hopefully.
same technique, right? You're either doing map scaler, UV
Yes,
map,
Wilson.
or you're tiling the map, right?
Yes, we can do today.
Pretty much you have to reference.
Yeah, that'll be my part 2 of the
determine
class.
What's more glossy, less glossy?
The sky,
map
the
finish.
environment. Yes.
But at this point, it should be able to
Yes.
map everything.
I mean, the rest
correctly, right,
is
to the
just
scene.
mapping,
If you
different
get
things,
stuck,
but it's the same
we'll cover in
technique, right?
class.
You're
But
either doing
we have
map
to
scaler,
focus on other things, right? So
UV
what
map,
makes this,
or you're tiling the
rendering
map, right?
realistic.
Pretty much you have to
besides
reference
lighting
photograph, to
materials.
determine what's more glossy, less glossy, matte finish.
Yes,
But
shade,
at this
shadows,
point, it should be able to
trees,
map everything correctly, right, in the
environment,
scene.
And
If you get
we'll
stuck,
cover,
we'll
these
cover
in
in
more
class.
detail.
But we have to
Context,
focus
right,
on
the
other
scene,
things,
all
right? So
these
what
things.
makes this rendering realistic besides lighting?
We don't play that much,
and
but
materials.
that I'll typically do in Photoshop.
What's that?
And we can do it there afterwards.
Yes, shade, shadows,
The settings
trees,
here are more
environment,
very hard
right?
to work, So
And we'll
it's
cover,
very easy to
these
do
in
in
more
Photoshop,
detail. Context,
let me
right,
just,
of the scene, right? All these things.
right, let me save this file. Save this file.
We don't play that much, but that I'll typically do in Photoshop, and we can do it there afterwards. Yes, yes. The settings here are more. They're very hard to work, So
All right, let me just save
it's
this
very
video
easy
now
to do it
and
in
see if
Photoshop,
works.